Now they're peasant chat talking to poor people, making sure that the poor people are represented properly because we do not discriminate here just because you have no money. Today what we're going to talk about is we'll talk a little bit about Donnie, my 2013 6R80 Mustang. Achieved a personal best of 11.83 in the quarter mile on the streets of Mexico because I took advantage of the cold front that came through. It's a lot chillier here than it was, like literally 20 degrees cooler in the morning, 51 degrees. I said, you know what? If this thing grips, this DA will allow an 11-second pass, which is very normal for like Northeast weather and California weather. You know, you guys get that weather pretty consistently. So we don't. So that's when, you know, a lot of the times don't match up to people that have, let's say, favorable DA. They talk about all this stuff about their car records, but let's be honest, if you live in an area where you're constantly having negative DA, the record is still a record, but understand when you come to Florida or somewhere warm, South Florida specifically, because Orlando's cold, Tampa's cold, Bradenton's cold-ish in the winter, you know, you're not going to run as good as you would like in Maryland. Maryland is a cheat code in my opinion, but again, I think the record still holds. So that makes that car, in my opinion, very relevant in today's game. You can compare that to a brand new Mustang or even a stock Gen 3 Mustang easily. This car can keep up and maybe beat them because it has a couple of mods that might favor it. So we can talk about the relevance of a Gen 1 running that number. Now, it running 11.8 in this weather made me think, well, if I get a K-member on there, some wheels and tires, some suspension components, and a trans brake. And the reason I would do a trans brake is just to launch in at the track because this thing barely hooks up on the street anymore. But with some suspension mods and some 15-inch tires, maybe it'll hook up better. And then we can see if we can better that time because the red car, the quickest it ever went on the street, if I'm not mistaken, was like an 11.5 or 11.4 or something like that. No, it was like 11.5 or 11.6. This Gen 1 is going 11.8. So that is very relevant. Full weight. No gutting, no nothing crazy, no bias ply. It's a ET Street SS on a Brembo wheel with Brembo, brakes. So the thing is actually performing extremely well. Bone stock suspension. Nothing at all done. It literally sits like a monster truck. We'll talk about that. Also, Eric Vega, Code Red, runs 920 in a ESS Gen 2 Mustang, getting it done. Well, look at the video. He probably can improve on that time because he now installed the Garrett Leach's slipper device on the pedal. I am okay with that as long as the clutch isn't a slipper clutch, a $5,000 clutch. If you have some kind of fuse between you and the transmission, that's going to help you have consistent launches. I'm not going to hate on that. We'll talk about that and many more things, but not before Mr. Bill O'Reilly tells us to do it live.
We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
It does suck. You know what doesn't suck is D&F Performance. DNFperformance.com. Get your parts there. They are the online parts sponsor of the show. Get everything you need and one-stop shop. D&F Performance. Spend $1,000. Get an Amory Cup. Check them out. PMAS, think gaming PMAS, going to get a 24 F-150 Cold Air coming, but this is the only Cold Air I recommend, and Donnie proves it, running a personal best. PMAS Fender Well for 15 and up, PMAS NA-CAIs for 11 to 14, CJs, you name it, PMAS, Parts.com. They're selling a 3-valve with a Vortex for like $12,000 bucks. Totally worth it. If you want to hoon for a little bit with 400 rear-wheel horsepower, then you can go ahead and shove a Coyote in there and have a whole bunch of fun. Check them out, partsfarm.com. Two Auto Solution, Rami Two Auto Solution. He's messing around with twin turbo 2020 GT500s now on Motec. Y'all Puerto Ricans don't really know how to hide money. Motec? Shit. Two Auto Solutions and Bellac Industries in Miami, located in Miami because that's where all the drug dealers are. He knows his customers. He knows what the drug dealers want. They want fancy wheels, and then they wonder, why did I get hit up by the feds? Because you got Bellac on your shit. So we'll say hi to the people here and get after it. We got Monty 540, Nick, Bilavesh, Clean 93 GT, Douchton, Leon Phelps, Z303, Camzilla, Hassan, Abbas, Coyote, Kelly, Ken Phillips, Tango, Chuck Wazarinsky, Carnage, Chuck again, Clint Stroke, Yogan Lates, Craig Walls, Billet Noonan himself, Tyler Gray, Mini by Madman, Joe Swiss, Justin Michael, Javon Jones Jr., SVT Mile an Hour, Andy Ali, Ken McAllister, Mustang Dennis, Brooklyn Guy, Frank Donahue, JD Swag, Dustin Garrison, Matt Oliver, Cody Jones, Mini by Madman, the Other Evan Smith, Gregory Ovich, Nathan E. Heath, S2R, Matt Oliver, Phil Fez. Oh my lord, this thing just skipped. Minibat Madman Dixon, Brandon M, Rican 50 the Wolf, SBE, Dylon, the best rapper ever. Tim O, Jason Eder, Durst Whipple 50, Alex's love for electric car. Jared Wells, the new dad. happy Father's Day. I love him. He's great. Josh Roy, Jamal Cahill, John Jones, Mother Trucker, the Gap Father, Alex's love for electric cars. Deuce Don. I had a 14 that looked like Donnie, but I traded it for a 19 GT. Jeremy Smith, Ivan D, TJ Sikorsky, Homie, Caesar, CPR Andrew, Eddie Howard, Louis Lou, Bullshit 16 GT, Scott Andrews, JD Swag, Joe Swish, Alex's love for electric cars, Eric Vega, Kanye, AJ Faisal, CCW Fox, Kanye Sada, Jordan, Yvette, Roman Tijerina, Amir Zahir, and Bud Moment. And we got through all of them. Let's get right to it. Headphone warning. If you had earbuds or headphones or Beats by Dre's, please, please, please turn the volume down. This is Eric Vega launching on a... This is Eric Vega with a 1,000 horsepower car, basically, not hitting the rev limiter on the 1.2. Ain't that some shit? Anyway, listen to this run. There's much to be improved on this run, but it is very good to hear what this car is doing for the mods. ESS, slipper device from Garrett Leach, drag radial, IRS car. Listen up. Listen to the printer. I love the printer sound.
What's he supposed to rev?
He's on an 8. I don't think that was an 8, but I'm gonna say 955. Oh. 925. 925.
925 at 151 and somehow didn't hit the rev limiter on the 1.2. Ain't that some shit? Let's listen again. There's much to be improved on this run. The 60-foot is darn good. 1.37 for a stick car. But on the 2.3, I think he short-shifted, and I think he short-shifted the 3.4. So we might have to, extend certain things or just have him make better runs. Or maybe something happened. The pedal acted up. Who knows? But let's listen to it one more time because this is ear candy. So, it begs the question, does he need to rerun it? Is the slipper device acting up? Like, is he just, needing to tighten up the shift points? I think the 2.3 can be extended, so can the 3.4. But look, he might be facing issues that I'm not recognizing. But 9.2, 151 out of a ESS, either 90 millimeter or 85 millimeter deal. It is pretty badass. It is pretty badass for a stick S550 to run that number. So other people are having trouble because they totally slammed the rev limiter because 1,000 horsepower stick shift cars slammed the rev limiter. Somehow he did not stop telling me it's a fucking tune issue when Eric Vega is rolling the gears and doing great. And that's why I support people like him, because he's not a non-driving motherfucker. He is legit. So he's going to go out there and eventually run an 8. He's working hard at it. He's diligent. I think he has one more track session left before the year ends, and they probably close down for a month or so before he can get after it again. But he's in Texas, so I'm sure he'll be able to get right back on the horse pretty darn quickly. So Donnie running the number that it ran made me think, okay, should I get after it at the track? Now, what does get after it mean? I'm not going to gain much from tuning at this point going forward with Donnie. I think now it's a parts issue. So we have to get a 15-inch tire back there and a DOT Pro. We're going to have to get proper suspension and a drive shaft. So it's going to need a drive shaft, a complete Team Z rear suspension, and an anti-roll bar and springs. I'm still on the fence whether I'm going to do the front suspension or not. I probably should do everything in one shot so we can see what suspension can gain without any tune changes. So that means a front coilover, sway bar delete, complete Team Z rear, anti-roll bar, and a drag pack. Everything, because I think we're at the cusp of running out of grip on the street. But time will tell. I'll do my best to get times on the street, but if it's becoming an issue, let's get to the track and get a 6R stager in there. Get a 6R stager, launch really high. No two-step. I don't need a two-step. Let it launch wherever the converter decides to flash. Let go of the button and get after it. So I'll probably be leaning on Thunder Thunder Autosport to install this stuff because I just don't have the time. You guys saw an update yesterday of Donnie running the number, the parts from Department of Boost that are badass. I'm waiting for the blower to get back from Kong Performance so then I can send it to the guy up at Department of Boost. He's going to put a new hub on it, get it back, and start assembling the GT500. But I don't want to take it apart until I have all the parts ready to go so I can do it and get it running that day. That's the goal. Now, right off the rip, I'm probably not gonna. I should just probably install everything. I was gonna do just as it sits with the twin fan heat exchanger, but I need 1.25" lines for everything. So I'm gonna have to upgrade the lines, which means I'm gonna have to upgrade the pump. But we'll see how everything shakes out with the current setup. And then when I need to upgrade parts, I'll go ahead and upgrade them. But 1.25" line is big boy stuff. He told me what fittings I need. The lines go from in the back of the manifold. So when you're looking at those big 1.25" lines, I have to flip the manifold around. They come to the back of the car. So I'll have to do some, get a bunch of line, replace everything, fittings. It's going to be a bit of a process. People say it's not a big deal. It's a big deal when you're doing it on your own. Absolutely. So I'm going to have to route those lines a certain way. But I think Donnie can run what the red car ran. Call me crazy. But the red car went 11.2 at 120. The Donnie has almost been 120. Look at that video. It went 119 with a draggy. And we all know the draggy is within a mile an hour or two and half a tenth or two from the actual time. The GPS tracking system or the GPS timing system is deadly accurate. So I think we can go 11.20 or 11.30. But again, I'm not going to go out of my way to try to make it run that number. If it's there, we'll get after it. I think shift points are fine where they are, but it needs suspension work, sway bar delete, a drive shaft, and a 15-inch tire, a drag setup, basically. And we'll see. We'll see what it runs because that's what the red car was configured as. And I am not going to gut the interior. It's going to stay exactly the same way. The goal with this car is to have a streetable, fast, reliable combo, and not gutting it is probably the main thing to do. So, and the last thing we can talk about, I don't know if you care about this, but I don't, but someone mentioned it the other day, that a Swedish battery maker went out of business. A big one, Northvolt, files for Chapter 11 protection. Not out of business. They went into bankruptcy, meaning they're not going to pay some of their people back. They'll reorganize and try to get after it again. The company says it'll continue deliveries to customers and pay key vendors as restructures in court. Where is it? Oh, what the fuck? Here it is. Is this that's a paywall? Get the fuck out of here with your paywall. Let me see. Wall Street Journal. Is that a paywall? Yep, another paywall. You guys are gay. You guys are so gay with your paywalls. You too? No. See, this is why this kind of media is dead. You gotta let us read this shit. Okay, well, go fuck yourself. That place went out of business. Eat a dick. There you go. Done. Suck a dick. The place went out of business, and you can't read about it unless you pay. Here we go. Sweden's Northvolt on Wednesday said it would head off the. Oh my God. If you got a website that has pop-ups about Black Friday, fuck you. You fucking retards. Europe's first homegrown gigafactory for lithium-ion battery cells will step down with immediate effect. It comes shortly after the cash-strapped company announced the plans to reduce its workforce by 25% in Sweden as a major cost-cutting drive. Mark Duchenne, CEO of Northvolt ETT, will be replaced on an interim basis by Angeline J. Billedou, probably a guy. The firm's vice president of operations in North America, the company said, I don't care. This is elections have consequences, guys. And the way America goes, the way the world goes, we know that whatever America does dictates the world's next move. So if you elected in a guy who is a drill guy and do EV shit, we're not going to incentivize it. People that were sucking off the tit of the United States via, let's say, grants or investment, basically free fucking money. Now that well is dried up. Esa teta no da leche. Se acabó el party. Now you're going to have to actually give consumers what they want. And isn't it crazy that Toyota for a long time started going, okay, we're not going to make EVs hardcore because we still think that the customers want a ICE vehicle as an option. We're not just going to stop making ICE vehicles. We're not going to make ICE vehicles boring and dull. We're going to at least offer them what they want. And all of a sudden, the company did the country did a 180. Said, yeah, we don't want this woke bullshit because anything EV and anything related to renewables has been tied to woke DEI gay shit. So people were like, they refuted that. Bobby Trump is in office, and now we're gonna get back to normalcy and maybe more drilling and lower energy prices. And who knows how long we have until we need to completely merge over to a renewable fuel source, but. In the interim, you can't just cut off what's plentiful, and the infrastructure is there right now, which is ICE, gasoline, power vehicle. So yeah, we could talk about all that stuff. So yeah, we'll see if Donnie actually ends up running a low 11 once everything is done. I'm going to order the parts more than likely Monday. It'll probably arrive late in the week, and then I'll get with Thunder and say, Thunder, I want a trans brake installed. I want all the suspension installed. So I'm probably going to spend close to $2,000 in just suspension stuff just to get Donnie, going on the right track, because I want to start progressing. It's cold. Let's get after it. The GT500, I'm just waiting on the blower. That's all I'm doing. I'm waiting on the blower. I'm not going to rush the guy. Probably doing me a solid. So I'm going to say, okay, when it shows up, but it's getting cold. So it's time to get after it. So we'll talk about that. And as always, Rich Prince, richprince.com. You want to buy shirts. You want to give the kids some money. You want to give me the opportunity to invest back into the company. You buy shirts, hoodies, hats, everything at richprince.com/YDBT. All right, we'll talk to the peasants and we'll see what's going on out there. But shout out to Code Red, man. I love the fact that he's out there. Eric Vega, good guy. Met him. He's trying to grow a ponytail. I don't like it. No me gusta ese pelo. Nah, fuck all that. Pegalos, I'm guessing around. Okay. Eric, are you on 2-pump or triple pump? Says Jared Wells. Eric says, Pegalos, I'm guessing on 20 PSI. Jared Wells, double pump. I'll be upgrading to a triple. Did you see a guy comment on the video last night saying you will need a new pickup for the pan? Yes. So Jake told me to get this road race set up. We got it, but I need a new pickup. It's $150, not a problem. I just need to know which one. Like, I wonder why Moroso doesn't say, if you're buying this, you need this pickup. Like, why don't they just say this pickup is for this pan? Because I'm not going to do custom shit. So I definitely need a new pickup for that pan, but I can do, I am way far away from getting this thing running in the car. So I'm going to do some test fitting. I can get everything done in terms of motor mounts, headers, everything, then take the pan off, put the proper pickup in there and put the pan back on. That's not a big deal. Eric Vega, I'm in the same boat as you. Need more pumps. I don't think you need more pumps, Jared Wells. A lot of people are getting bad information out there. So I heard from a customer that he was running out of pump. So he put 274s in there. And I went, wait a minute, you had 285s in there. And For Innovation supposedly told them, well, running 285s all the time burns them out. I have had nothing but 285s in most of my vehicles. Dual pump running constant. I've never had an issue. Now, if you're running a Bobo relay setup to trigger the pumps, check the relays. If you're running, if you had a pump failure before and you reused the filter sock, that's crazy. So make sure that's brand new too. Like, I'm blown away that a lot of people are getting bad information out there. You don't need a triple pump unless you're making well over 1,100. I think two 285s will supply more than enough fuel if you have plenty of injector, 1300s and up, to make 1,000 wheel on a Coyote, no problem. Triple, in my opinion, is only necessary when you're well north of 1,100 wheel. Call me crazy on E85. That heat exchanger is dope. Looks like it flows like crazy. It is pretty badass. Yeah, right, Joe Swish? I told the guy, I haven't even talked to Eric Vega. He's on the same fucking tune. He just sends logs. And I think Junior, we juggle people around. So Brandon had him, then I had him. Then the dude just gets shit done. And I'm like, look at that. Ain't that some shit? And he sends logs. And he knows how to drive. I'm like blown away that people go on Facebook complaining about me saying they can't drive when I have data logs of them slamming a limiter at 9,000 RPMs. And this guy just literally goes A to B. No issue at all. You think the track apps on the cars are accurate as the times it measures? No, because they're not GPS based. Sorry about that, gents. Running a little late. Bryson Witt, what's up, brother? Jackpot Jen said, did you see the video of an engine builder who broke down a Dark Horse motor and uses Gen 3 block and other Gen 3 components? I wonder who said that. That the Gen 4 is the Gen 3.5. There is nothing special about that car. Eric Vega says, I already had the long hair. Cut it. Everyone lost their minds. No, you need new friends, Papa. You need to cut that shit. I love it. I had the window windage tray Moroso sent because of where it mounts on the main caps. I had to window the windage tray. Moroso sent because of where it mounts on the main caps. Oh, don't tell me that. God damn it. That's shit. I don't want to modify nothing. Can't y'all motherfuckers just make shit that fits? Wow, so shifting the car where you should has good results? Pikachu face. No. Switch the fucking tuner. Switch the tuner because you slam a rev limiter. I love it. Happy trails to you. Until we meet again. Get the fuck up. Go ahead. Go somewhere else. Because when I see another customer straight ripping gears, guess who I'm going to pay more attention to? The guy that knows how to drive. Stick an auto in if you don't know how to drive. Fuck it. What's the preferred way of activating a third pump? So a third pump, in my opinion, should be Hobbs switch activated. Now, if you're driving around on 10 PSI, E85, chilling, you don't want to trigger that third pump off of like a 5 PSI Hobbs switch. You know, like it's kind of unnecessary. You could literally be rolling into it, getting on the highway, and then the third pump will kick in and cause, stress to the fuel system, let's just say. I don't think it's necessary. If there is a way of triggering it at a higher boost setting with a different Hobbs switch, I think you should trigger it when you need it. Not off of a low pressure Hobbs switch, or you could just leave that shit disconnected, never have it trigger until you go to the track, and then you're set up to have 20 or more PSI, making well over 1100, and then that pump can be triggered on, at a lower boost setting. I'm trying to decide for a 22-inch 4-star. Just get out of here. 22-inch 4-star, he said. 22-inch 4-star he's talking about, and then he's talking about 900 to 1,000 horsepower. Dude. It doesn't matter. Horsepower and wheel size. What are you trying to do? Are you cruising? Are you racing? Come on, man. Come on. Eric says, I also have dual 285s. Data log look good too on the fuel trim, but I'll let y'all verify that for me. I like it. Eric Vega knows how to view logs. If he would have seen an issue after his run, oh shit, it's spiking fuel trims. Leave it alone. Live to fight another day. But the nice thing is we don't need to hear from you all the time if you know how to read data logs. Now there's a completely different side of that coin when you think you know how to read data logs. You don't know what the fuck you're looking at, and you're blaming the tune for everything. And the windage tray they sent me was the exact same as OEM. I run upper lube in all E85 cars. Hey, yo. Triple pumps cooking that fuel. Is Donnie still your most enjoyable car? Or do you think the GT500 will take the crown once you add the blower? Once I add the blower, the GT500 will be the king. Absolutely. That bitch is bad. Now, the non-synchro transmission makes it a pain in the ass, but I never drove that car with proper power, and since the engine was built by fucking incompetent dude over there, and if the motor makes good power, 900 plus, and I'm able to fuck around, yeah, it'll be enjoyable for sure. Chuck says, if you have pumps burn up, you need to replace the inline filter and throw away any fuel in the tank and clean the whole tank. Alex hating on hair. No. See, if you got like Asian people hair, grow that shit out. But if you got beaner hair, cut it out. Cut it out. Once this weather up north is nice, I'm going to the track and going for that 9-second pass. I think you'll get it, brother. Calibrations driver punching air right loud. No, look. I don't care. Eric Vega proved to me that 1,000 horsepower stick car can be kept off of the rev limiter. Stop it. What injectors do I need to go on E85 Gen 2 full bolt-on LU47? You don't need anything bigger than LU47 naturally aspirated. Out of curiosity, when did you have the Hobbs switch on section 8 to turn on? Oh shit, that's a good one. Well, that one was 5 PSI. But you got to understand, a TVS does not see 5 PSI when you tip in. She's like 8. She's like 9. And then by the time you're at like 5,500 RPMs, it's like 10, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's very fast. It's a hard hitting situation as opposed to a centrifugal, as opposed to a low boost turbo setup. So the third switch was triggered via a Hobbs. Now, the way it's configured now, I'm more than likely going to have 2 pumps running hot, and the third is not even going to activate if I can find a method of triggering it at, because I don't think it's going to make 1100. I think the 285s that are in there right now are more than enough. I'm probably not even going to trigger the third pump. Now, I don't have actually, I do have a way of measuring boost. There is a boost box in there, so I should be able to see what boost it's making. But I don't have fuel pressure because it's a GT computer as opposed to a GT500 computer. You, Bryson, you have fuel pressure in your log. You actually have the delta P, whatever you want to call it. You have the fuel pressure in the log, so I can see if it's maintaining the proper pressure. So honestly, if there is a way of triggering it, do they sell Hobbs switches at 10 psi? Let's Google it together. Hobbs switch. Let's just type in 10 psi. Okay, so this is a Hobbs switch in case you guys didn't know. And if there is a way. Oh, look at that. So a 10 psi Hobbs switch. Do they have a 15 psi Hobbs switch? 15 psi. So look at that. So you Google a Hobbs switch that has a vacuum/boost reference, and when that sensor picks up 15 psi, it makes the connection and triggers the third pump. So Honeywell makes a 5 psi, MP Racetronics makes a 15 psi. So there you go. If you have a big boost setup, I wouldn't trigger the third pump on until you needed it, and that's well above 10 psi or 15 psi. And it all depends on how. I would do some data logging to see if you even need it. Let's be honest. What's the psi in Donnie's tires? Are you ready for this? 30. ET Street SS's on Brembo wheels, 30 psi. I'm not a big fan of lowering the tire pressure on a low profile drag radial on the street. I think wadding up the sidewall on the street on a low profile tire is against what you want to do. Now, this is based on, I just say common sense. You want the tire, because it's already low profile, to make as much contact firmly with the surface. Now, the issue is, which surface are you on? If you're on a asphalt surface, it's going to spin. If you're on concrete, you can mitigate the spin by launch RPM, but the stall converter is high. So I just so happen to find a perfect little patch of concrete in my spot. And I'm like, this might work because all I need is the 60 foot. So I went to a previous spot where I was able to 60 foot 1.84, but it spun on the 1-2 shift and it caused a short 3-2-3 shift. Now, if I was to have that 60 foot and have it grip, I think the car can run an 11.7. That is fast for a NA Gen 1. So I said, you know what? Let's just do all the suspension work. Let's do all the drive shaft stuff. Let's get it on a sticky surface, and we can then tweak from there. Now, really listen to that video. That video, the converter lockup, is over 100 miles an hour. You hear, wah, bah, bah, and then in third, it just kind of stays there, but the mile an hour shoots up. And, and then it comes back. And then the quarter mile ends. Now, the only reason I moved the converter lockup further out was just testing stuff. And I think getting the car out, the first 60 feet, the front half, the first 8th mile, I wanted to get to the 8th mile as good as possible. And I delayed the lockup a little later in third gear because it's NA. I don't want it to lock up right in third gear because what happens? You go 1, 2, 2, 3, lockup. Now it's fighting up a hill. RPM wise. I went 1, 2, 2, 3, and in the middle of third gear, lockup happened, and it has more momentum, more inertia, more RPM, making more power, and the lockup seemed less severe. And I thought, this is a winner. I like locking it up a little later, and it worked out for my specific application. If you make more power like a boosted car, I think where Lund Racing keeps it is optimal. You can get an adjustable hop switch. There you go. Andrew Jackson, 24 from 50 tuning. Is it close? Able to be tuned? No. Andrew, no. When it's tunable, everybody will know. Stop it. Okay, Andrew, what makes you think we're close? Like, what mechanism of tuning makes you think we're close to being able to tune it? You have to flash it. You have to flash it and hit it, not brick. You have to flash it, not brick, and make sure the computer doesn't revert it back to stock. So there is no close. It's either tunable or it's not tunable. And right now, it's not tunable. I have witnessed a dual 285 system feeding 1300 lose pressure at around 19 to 20 RPM. I've never seen that happen on a 4 fuel system yet. That's the key. What wiring are you, what triggering mechanism are you using to run the fuel system? I only recommend 4. People say, hey, he's getting paid by 4. I wish I was getting paid by 4. I wish. I have just seen too much. And every time I'm in the ticket system and I see a car never lose fuel pressure with 285s running fucking 850, I go, whoa, what do you got for a fuel system? Well, 285s and a 4 fuel system. I'm like, fuel pressure's good. Everything's good on a cold DA day. He's like, yeah. Now, I've seen Bobo wiring relay bullshit lose pressure at 17 PSI. And then the relay burned up because it got hot. I'm like, fuck this fuel system. Thanks for the info, says Bryson Witt. Good knowledge. Now I know what to do if the 2-pump setup ever runs out of steam up top. That should be on every shift. Fat finger to each bat. Gotcha. Just don't order it from that company. Order it from DNA. Order everything from DNA, bro. If you don't see it on their website, just call them and you should be good to know. You should be good to go. Good morning, says Mad Motorhead. Reyes Bill says hello. Que onda, tío? Trevor Sopel. Alex, how small of a pulley can I downsize to safely run a Gen 5 Whipple, Gen 3 Coyote on pump gas? I think a 3.875, maybe if you have very good fuel and a stock lower, a 3.75 upper, which is going to be 11.5 PSI. It's going to be on the high side on a Gen 5 Whipple in good weather. In the summer, the fact that the air charge is a little hotter, I wouldn't, whatever pulley generates 10 PSI. But let's just say at sea level, a 3.85 makes, 10.5, 11 pounds of boost, maybe a 3.7. But honestly, you're playing with fire there. If you want safe, 10 PSI, and you should be like a 3.875, which is a 3 7/8, if I'm not mistaken. Ken Phillips says, once Donnie is boosted and making some torque, you'll draw that converter lockup setting back in. Correct. Then we have to dial that back in. Logan 80. We got people hacking into bank accounts, but nobody can hack into a computer on a vehicle. Shaking my head. Well, let's talk about that. That's a good one. Okay. Boosted 507. Esa teta no da leche. You have seen Ford. Well, let's talk about this. Because now they're opening a Pandora's cunt. If Ford sued a guy for a body kit, if Ford sued a company for body swapping a vehicle and using the name Ford Bronco, and if Ford decides to sell calibration upgrades, let's go to Ford Performance. Let's do some digging in real time. Motorsport. Let me see. Ford Motorsport, Ford Performance Tuning, Performance Calibration Upgrade Mustang. I'm just doing some stuff. Okay, so this is 18 to 23. Hey, son of a bitch! Look at that. So let's look at this. Let's do this shit in real time because this is fun. So this is an EcoBoost tune. 2018 to 2023 Mustang EcoBoost Performance Calibration. $850. Hey, doesn't that look familiar? Hey, doesn't that shit look familiar? Horsepower, torque gain throughout the power band. 35 horsepower peak gain at 2,900. 76 pound-feet of torque at 2,600. Exclusive Ford Performance warranty with dealer installed. 50 state legal CARB D431-6. Automatic transmission featured optimized performance shift schedule. Powertrain calibrations developed, supported, Okay, but do they have... Let me see. Do they have similar parts? Okay. Where is it? Part. So do they have Mustang GT calibration? EcoBoost GT for performance parts. 18 to 21. Why not 22 and 23? Right? So this comes with a calibration, cold air, and throttle body. So now let's say Ford goes, we want ultimate control of our product, and we want nobody changing the calibration on it because we, dangerous. Like think about it. If a company is body swapping, I get it, crash test, whatever. But if you're going to go into the calibration game and you're like, unauthorized people are now calibrating our vehicle, ¿qué pasó ahí? Could be a problem. Again, just taking it to the next level. You never know. I don't have any insider information. I'm just spitballing here. But based on their litigious actions in the last couple of months, I wonder if they can make that leap of saying, yeah, even the calibration is going to be locked down, so much so that if anyone tunes it, we can say revert it back to stock, or hey, yeah, no, we're not cool with that, and they can get weird and litigious. I don't trust Ford not to do that. Alex, I'm thinking of getting a 3-valve. I know, slow, but I love the sound of them. And any recommendations for tuning? I did see any official on Lund's site. I know people that can 3-valve tune. If I was going to recommend, okay, this is, you understand, there's a lot of 3-valve tuners out there. Recommend Joe Goodenough. That's about the only person I recommend. I know many, but I recommend Joe. They're close, but people are using Whipple tunes to run turbos, so people think they are close. Exactly. Does anyone know if Lund has Black Friday deals? Okay, probably not. Look at their dealers. The dealers might have Black Friday sales, but Lund Racing specifically, they don't go out of their way to, because it'd be kind of fucked up, right? Let's say Lund Racing did Black Friday sales, and then whatever dealers that we do have, which is interesting. We don't even, dealers, do we need them? But it's nice to have them, I guess. And if they run a special, we don't want to undercut that, So look at the dealers and see what they have for specials. Amir here says, I finally found and bought a Gen 2 6R80 F-150. Really want to copy Joe Goodenough's truck. Well, the fact that his is a Gen 3, I don't know how that's going to work. Swapped the F-150 Gen 1 engine into an 01 Mustang and just got a Whipple out of a wrecked GT350 and of Gen 5 3.0 Whipple with stock throttle bodies and the 3875 Pulley on 85. Runs great. Would love to put a 3.3 on it. Will it live? No. 3.3? Pulley? What a hell of a jump. SVT Mile Power says, as long as you have the Delta, you can watch it. I hardly ever have belt slip. The 50% helps with a belt wrap. Yep. Just now checking the deal. Why do tortas have big backs? Shit is whack. Well, isn't a torta a fat Mexican girl? And why is that desirable? Eric Vega, I'm not saying... You're the resident Mexican here. Unless Edwin Martinez shows up. Why do Mexican men like big fat Mexican girls? Is the toto that good? I don't know. I've never been there. No, thank you. Rican50 asks, what is a decent time in mile an hour for a Gen 2 373 manual, free flowing exhaust, 350 manual with a PMAS, full weight? Also recommended launch RPM and on a tire. Okay, so we're talking about an NA Gen 2 with a 350 manifold, free flowing exhaust, and a PMAS. I'd say an 1150 or 1140, if you can really, really dial in the shifts, should be a good time for that car because you have the 350 manifold, you have 373s, you have PMAS, and the car's full weight, but you're on a free-flowing exhaust. I think if you can, you should comfortably get into the 11s, 11.9 really easy, even if you like granny shift. The 60 foot is the key. I would do a bias ply Hoosier QuickTime Pro, axles, drive shaft. If you can't do that, you can do a drag radial, launch it really high, but if you have let's say a stock spring, you're going to have a lot of body roll. So you want to mitigate that. You want to make it as stiff as possible in the back and rely on the tire to put the power down. So if you're really good at slipping the clutch and you're really good at shifting, an 11.7 shouldn't be out of the realm of possibility on pump gas. If you're on E85 and launch it like a madman, like 5.0 Code Red did, let it do its thing and cut like a 1.6 or 1.7, I think you can get an 1150 or better out of that particular combo. Alex, does the LRX have a port for the ZT2? No, they don't. They don't have anything. Again, you never know if in the future there'll be a version 2 of that device. Right now, we're using what they have, and we needed something touchscreen for the market because the market was begging for it. Like so many times, people were like, "Oh, the RTD fails to flash with TDN. I have to have a good signal to log." So people are just like, "Fuck, I wish there was another option." We saw another option, talked to the manufacturer, and we got some private label stuff coming. Now, they didn't think we would sell like everyone else that they licensed the product to didn't sell more than like 100 a year at all. So we sold 2,000 in 10 months. So I'm hoping that they see there's enough meat on the bone that they're like, let's make not a badass device, because now you're playing with fire a little bit, but it has to be cost effective, sub $600, sub $500. It has to have a glass screen. It has to be a very good, quick user interface. And it has to have auxiliary inputs, like for fuel pressure, for boost. And it has to be like plug and play. I'm saying you sell the sensor, you sell the wiring harness, you have the data already plugged in, the transfer function, you already have it plugged in. And when you plug it in, it has to be almost automatic. And I wonder how many would have to sell in order for everybody to make money. Not only us, but the manufacturer. That's kind of the game you play. In theory, you can have the most badass device on the planet. Great user interface, bunch of functions on it. But if the tuner is not going to support that device, then it kind of just goes off into the ether and beautiful device, but nobody took care of it. You get your one tune from your sunglasses inside and you never hear from them again. And you wonder, why the fuck did you spend $1,100 on a device? So there's a bit of a game you have to play here. It has to make money. It has to be usable. It has to be configurable. It has to have a good screen, very bright, because a lot of you dumb sons of bitches go outside in the bright sunlight and turn the screen settings down on the LRX. Don't touch anything. It comes pre-delivered with the highest screen setting there is. So if you try to get it brighter, it's not going to happen. Okay, go under a bridge. I don't know what you want me to do. So I'm hoping that in the future they see that there's enough business there that they're like, okay, we should make a badass device. When you go to PRI, guys, go to PRI. Those of you that go to PRI, go to PRI. There are wonderful devices out there, but you have to have the perfect combination of everything. Does it flash 11 through 23? Does it data log with a certain configuration? Does it do it quickly? Is the screen long lasting? And what is the entry cost? And that it's not easy. It's really not easy. People are stupid. I seen a guy on Facebook page said looking for a fuel system, Lund recommended for. What should I get, bro? Every fucking day. Más panza, más chanza. Ew. Oh, here we go. This thing's going to freeze. No, we're good. Ford offering an aftermarket tuning, total BS. If they had a better tune, then why doesn't it come with a $50,000+ Mustang stock? Squeezing that last penny out of customers. Whack. Because they can cook, says Sky Angels about the tortas. They're the only ones left that know how to cook, says Eric Vega. But don't entirely take my word for it. I married a fit white woman. Good for you. Good for you. The Holy Grail. Una blanquita. Kylie Kelly. Ford Racing was better than Ford Performance. I want to know what happened exactly. I don't know. My 05 Coyote swap, I have a Gen 3 long block. I could put my Roush 2.3 on it. If I did a DI delete. What the fuck did you just say? On my 05 Coyote swap, I have a Gen 3 long block. Could I put my Roush 2? Okay, Jared, what is controlling the Gen 3 long block? A Gen 3 control pack? If so, technically yes. SVT says to Phil Fez, I don't think so. The only port on the back is Ethernet for power, USB-C, and laptop plug. Unless he bought another one, he has the videos of his supercharged 17 F-150. He bought mine. Amir Zahir. He bought my Gen 3 truck. My Gen 3 truck, what was it called? Champ Stamp. Joe Goodenough bought. Amir Zahir says, it's the only one you rest in your Genesis. No, he sold that truck like 2 years ago. Moon Jarrell done it. Wow. Why are some Gen 3 cars outperform one another stock for stock? Is the factory freak factory dud a true thing? No. A lot of you guys do this. My buddy's car runs 11.8 stock. Why doesn't mine? And then I go, tell me about your buddy's car. Stock Gen 3 auto. Then you find out it has 355s. Then you find out it has 355s and a drag pack. And then you find out that it was tuned and he lied to you. So I've seen this so many times where I go, okay, tell me exactly the buddy's car you're racing versus what you got. So if you have a performance package 355 equipped Gen 3 auto car versus a non-performance package Gen 3 315 rear diff auto car, you're going to get out of the hole, you're going to be down a car. And by the time it gets to 130 miles an hour, he's going to be up about a car and a half because he can out accelerate you because he has a favorable gear ratio. Now, this is where shit gets muddy. You guys go, should I install 355s? I'm like, wait, are you planning to boost the car? Yes. No, you don't install 355s. See, now what people are doing is they leave the 355s in there, they boost the car, and guess what happens? The car tries to do a 6-7 shift at the end of a quarter mile. And we don't want it having to do a 6-7 shift. And launching in first gear, boosted 355s, the gear ratio, the launch ratio is retarded. A 3 or 5 first with a 355 rear diff versus the same first with a 315 rear diff. I think the 315 will have a better favorable launch ratio when boosted. So I wish I could just give you a very straightforward answer, but it has to be very layered depending on what you're comparing it against. Stock for stock, a 355 car will accelerate a 315 car. Real easy. Cole Daniel says, RTD sucks. I hate TDN. I would rather use a laptop. Hey, Alex. And glasses indoor tune, my grassroots Mustang. Damn, I went 12.5 at 116, 2060 foot, 20-inch street tires. Why are we racing? Why are we racing with a 20-inch street tire? When you go racing, you should configure your car for racing. So when you go racing with a 20-inch street tire on pump gas, don't complain about your time. Configure the car for its application. You sound like you got a cruiser. The car probably cruises way better than a car with a bias ply and a 17-inch because it's configured to cruise. If you're configuring a car to race, configure it to race. Don't race a car that's configured to cruise and expect a great ET out of it. Don't cruise a car that's configured to race and expect a good cruise out of it. That I'm blown away that some people don't think about. I got soft springs. I got a Pirelli P0 or a Continental Conti Sport whatever or a Pilot Sport Cup 4, 2. How come it doesn't launch? How come it doesn't do wheelies? It's not meant to do that. The way you got it configured is fucked up. Coyote Kelly, well, unfortunately, we lost the best tuning device of our time because it got honeycucked. I wouldn't say that. Honestly, I think, okay. I hate being lumped into the diesel market. I think diesel tuners, if they weren't deleting shit, if they weren't blowing smoke on purpose, like there are literally tunes, I can imagine there's some yee kid in Loxahatchee that has a diesel truck and the first thing he wants to do is lift kit, Bluetooth drive shaft, American Force wheels, LEDs in the center and on the fender wells, pit vipers, and a tune that rolls coal. No different than a tuner that enables D-cell pop bang bing bang boom tunes. If you are a tuner that makes crackle tunes, you're gay. You suck dick. I guarantee you suck dick. I guarantee you have sucked a penis if you make crackle D-cell burble tunes, because you have given in. You've given in to what the customers want. If the customers want, the customers should not get what they want. The customers should get the best performance performance out of the vehicle, you as a tuner should be able to dictate what that car does. If you go, oh, you want diesel ping bang bang tunes and diesel flame tunes? Here you go, give me your money. You're not just a shill for money. You're not actually looking out for the customer. Back to diesel guys. Same thing with diesel guys. Don't look at me and go, oh, it's not our fault. Yes, it is. Everything that's gone wrong with tuning boils down to diesel. Show me any different that says EPA is going after a ethanol, clean burning, 18 GT tune with vapor coming out of the exhaust, like literally water vapor coming out of the exhaust. Or Yee Pit Viper rolling coal on Teslas. Which one do you think, optics-wise, yells tuning is bad? The diesel guy. So now you guys are deleting DPF. I get it. Truck runs better, but make it burn clean. Nope. Let's roll coal because it's cool. No, it's not. I saw a video of a guy leaving a garage the other day in a Peterbilt, and I get it. Those are emissions exempt, I would think, right? Peterbilt, and it must have had a built engine, upgraded turbo, anything. And it's like, ruh, ruh, and it's just like black smoke, black smoke, black smoke. I didn't look at that and go, oh, that's fucking badass. I go, gosh, that must stink. I don't look at a truck going down the street, rolling coal from the stacks going, that's fucking cool. Just like I don't hear a diesel burble tune going, that's fucking cool. Most of the customers that I have, thank God, go, hey, Alex, it's making some weird D-cell popping. I go, check for exhaust leaks because we don't do that in the tuning. And they go, oh, yeah, you're right. I had a bit of an exhaust leak and I fixed it up and everything's fine now. Because the oxygen sensor was sampling, fresh air and it was skewing the readings. So the device did not die because of one person. The device died because of one industry. And in my opinion, in my most humble of opinions, Alejandro Flores' opinion only, no one else's, the diesel market killed this. The diesel market killed this. That's when they start talking about diesel and they say, hey, Lund, or hey, the other tuner, defend us. Y'all on your own. Y'all did this. We're good. This is not, I don't fucks with diesel. Nope. Unless you're making it burn clean and making good power and not giving gimmicky roll coal tunes, I don't want to know nothing about you. Fuck all that. Fuck all that diesel shit. They started this bullshit. They started it. Volkswagen too. Homie Caesar says, I think certain years of Gen 3 might have intake carbon traps with the smaller tube. That could be why some Gen 3s are faster than others. Configure it to race and drive that bit on the streets. I'm asking about S650, but I'm worried about to get roasted. No, go ahead. Those same tuners will band-aid a mechanical problem with the tune. Damn oil burners, real trucks don't have spark plugs. Oh, show us how that blue roller works in the background. It works really well. It cracks your whole back. Look, I'm like this all day, right? And then I remind myself, okay, I gotta, and this is one of those leaning chairs. It constantly leans forward to keep your posture as best as possible. But the problem is the more I type, the more forward I get into the screen. So I get up like every half hour, just roll on that bitch and it cracks your back. Oh, I've always had low back issues because and I go to the gym and I'm always working on the cars. Trust me, call it gay all you want. If you have muscle and you give a shit about like keeping everything good, you need a roller, you need blocks, you need everything. I don't know Potato Lifestyle's tuned cars sent to blow up a ton of black smoke from the tailpipes, rooster tail. NA, them things are far from exempt. Oh, really? Interesting. Construction equipment and trains aren't emission exempt anymore. Interesting. Alejandro Gomez says, my Peterbilt is pushing 900 horsepower with a compound HX60/HX83. She runs clean as fuck. I don't need to get more attention from the step troopers that I already have. Which is even crazier, says Eric Vega, because they're emissions exempt on state inspections, at least in Texas. That roller is badass. My wife has one. Yeah, those rollers are amazing. Dude, you can get your neck to crack with that roller. The problem is when I do my IT band, I cry because my legs are sensitive. Wasn't the VW shit also because of diesel cars? Absolutely. Diesel is the focal point of the attack on the tuning industry. And the moment they say tuning is under attack, and I guarantee it'll say diesel, 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 diesel. Alex, get it, Herman Miller chair. Fuck you. $1,000 chair. Stupid question. What difference would a high 11 second low 12 NA car run from sea level to 3,000? Well, 2 to 3 tenths. And the reason I know that is because of my car. So the last time I ran Donnie, it was like 2,000 DA and high water grains, 91 degrees. I go out there in 51 degree weather and like 0 DA. Actually, does it say? Let me go check the stats. Draggy. Oh, yeah. Okay. Let me see. Me. History. 20 runs. Quarter mile. 25 runs. 1183. Okay. Oh, my God. Guys. Dude. Look at what... Look at that. Hold on. Look at the DA. I didn't even look. I'm just going to show you guys. Oh, shit. It doesn't show. Negative 600 feet DA. Negative 612. 51 degrees. 6 feet above sea level. Negative 612 DA. 120 miles an hour, 778th, 1.9260 foot. Now, I did do a 60, 60 miles an hour, 60 foot of what? Let's see, of 1.8, 0 to 60, 3.85, 0 to 60 foot. What the fuck? I'm trying to find it. 0 to 60 foot. Damn it. That 60 foot was badass. Let me see. Video. Okay. So this is my 1.84 60 foot. It spun and it's short shifted.
Damn it.
Yeah, let me listen to that again. I left off of idle. So, I mean, imagine if I had that 184 with a good launch, it would have been like a 1175 or 1175 or 1173. I have a roller too. I love it. Morning, Theo, says Big Pops. I love the midweek video updates. Digging your new gantry crane. It's badass. It's like everyone sees it and go, what the fuck is that thing in that little shitty garage? I get it. I don't have the best setup, but I got 3 of those. 3 of the little garages, and I can work magic in that bitch. The amount of smoke those yee burnout contests emit probably gets the EPA looking at gasoline cars, unfortunately. We were meant to sit all day. We were not meant to sit all day. Go to take care of your bodies. Gentlemen, crack pop tunes equals you're slow and gay. But Alex, 2 pop, bang, burble, flame, roll, call tunes look cool on Instagram. Whoever made cop tuning devices may be a looker for a new customer, okay? Cruise is great, says Rican50. Just wanted to know what to expect once I get the proper setup. Best I've ever had was on an only rears radio, 12.3 at 113. That was with stock 15 Manny. Wow. 1/10 every 1,000 feet. So yeah, I think this thing can go 11.9 in the summer, but 11.7. So I think, yeah, a couple tenths SVT mile an hour is a good idea it's a good rule of thumb when it comes to losing time based on DA. Should DA top show? Yeah, it was like negative 600. Hi, Alex. I just watched a video of 2012 Ball 302 with long tube headers and course a catback with no rasp. But same setup on a Gen 2, Gen 3 would be Rasp City. What changes tone on these engines? Years? Okay. You watched a video of a Boss 302 with long tube headers and Corsa catback with no rasp. And then you look at a Gen 2 with a different manifold setup, different cam setup, different tuning, different exhaust routing, sound raspy. Come on, Papa. Alex, not just your back. Don't forget to stretch your psoas muscle. What about my coccyx, which is your asshole? You ever see these chiropractors sometimes say, I'm going to adjust your coccyx, and they literally put their thumb in the person's butthole? I'm good. DA Warrior. Good morning, Emery. Checking in from the deer stand, says Mark Christensen. What's his name? Dwayne Hickman sent me 2 clutches. two RXT 1200 HDs, one with an aluminum flywheel, the other one with a steel flywheel. So there's going to be a lot of work on and off, taking care of the Corvette situation. Bell housing, oil pan, all that has to be done and bolted on. Then you do the motor mounts. Once that motor is bolted on with the bell housing, motor mounts, everything, this project is really, really going to take off, I think. Thanks for helping me out last night. Young man says, Car Guy Mike. What did I help you out on? Hey, just want to thank you for sharing my reel on Insta. I have a clout car with no clout. Look, if you guys are you're AMI members and you're on Instagram and you want an account that has over 20-something thousand followers, at least push your stuff. Just let me know. Just tag me in it and I will absolutely reshare everything you got, even if it's stupid as shit. And again, you have to be like on my primary account. If it's like hidden and shit, it's hard to find because I don't really converse with anyone. But if you got a car and you do some burnouts and dumb shit and you want to get the AMRI following you, just let me know. I'll just follow. I'll just reshare, repost everything you send me. MDO8 says, are there any advantages to the twin throttle body setup on the new Mustangs, or is it just aesthetics? Well, it all depends. I think the twin throttle body setup was more of an emissions thing and more of a tuning thing, but you can probably shut it off easily in the calibration. I wish, okay, so what is more controllable? Let's, and I've thought about this, and you guys that know, by the way, guys, check it out. What is this? What's this, guys? What's this? What's this? What's this? What's this look like? Does that look like something that... Anyway, what is more controllable? A big oval or two stock throttle bodies? So if you want more airflow in the vehicle, but you want the throttle to feel like a single blade throttle body, but you want more air coming into the engine, well, you could do a big oval, but the controllable and the drivability, the control and the drivability of the big throttle body is always an issue. There's always drivability issues with a big oval, and the likelihood that it'll fail safe are higher. I don't know if it's the blade, I don't know if it's the TPS, who knows. But now you have two stock throttle bodies. How many stock throttle bodies have you seen fail? Very small amount. So now you have two of them. So you have double the airflow, or at least 1.5 times, whichever way you want to do it. You can have up to double the airflow going into the engine, but have the throttle feel good. So you can look at it two different ways. They want more airflow, good throttle body feel and tuning, as opposed to a big single oval or 103 millimeter that doesn't drive all that well, driving characteristics, and is prone to fail safing. God, who cares about those guys? Got a flashing CL on my Gen 3. What does this misfire really mean? It means you're misfiring. Do you still offer build outlining questions in the Patreon, but not sure how to get in touch? Thanks in advance. You hit me up on Patreon on the private message, and I can literally outline your whole build. Guys do that all the time. I answered like 3 emails last night at midnight. I went out, had a good time. Believe it or not, I actually did like what normal guys do. I went out, like, had dinner, then did an activity, and I ended up at a bar, but not to drink, but like there's a live band, and I was like, this is a normal Saturday for like most people. It was exhausting. I wish I was just home. No, I'm kidding. It was a good time. In 2012, they had Corsa Sport mufflers with an extreme muffler. Not sure if the S550 got the Sport version. Would you consider selling the C6 Coyote Swap kit? No. Kit? My goal, Daniel, is to do this. This is my goal. Figure out all the parts to make a Coyote Swap work on a C6. Then, let's say, make a couple of the kits, meaning this is the bell housing you need. This is the motor mount you need. This is the control pack you need. And then a very small set of instructions, because a lot of it has to be done by, and no bracketry, nothing crazy. Jake's got all that figured out. But then I want to Voodoo swap a Z06. I want to buy a blown up C6 Z06 black. It's got to be black. And then I'm going to shove a fucking 5.2 Voodoo in it. And I'm going to shift it at 8,500 RPMs with a Cobra Jet intake. Oh my goodness. And people are going to go, well, that's gay. I'm like, is it really though? On E85, a Voodoo motor with a Cobra Jet intake? I don't know. I think you're going to like it. And then I'd have a ZR1 with a Coyote boosted and an NA Z06 with a Voodoo. Oh, I can't wait. Shout out to the YouTube channel too, says Cole Daniel. Sure. The axle issue on Patreon, 313 Mike says the axle issue on Patreon, however, I think the clutch is bad because even if the clutch pushed in, I hear the axle clunking. No, if your axle's broken, the clutch doesn't matter. Just jack the car up in the air and see if the wheels spin with the clutch disengaged. Did the Department of Boost guy design to make that lower intake? It looks like it will flow better than the custom lowers. Yes, he designed everything, and he has like a heat sink built in it so that it doesn't transfer the heat onto the intercooler. Once I start installing it, I'll show you all the benefits. But for now, I just wanted to show you that I got the parts in, and I wanted to give him a shout out. Matt Oliver says, with Donnie going 11.8, do you think a low 11 is possible, like 11.2, 11.3? Is it possible before going boosted, or is that just outside of Donnie's record, not boosted? I think it's possible, and I'm going to give it a shot. 2-into-1 harness is nice. He said possible, Matt Oliver. Do you think Jake would ever bring the harness to market? I bet a lot of people want to do the dual throttle body. If this works, and Lund Racing decides to, because it needs tuning, I will pay for the harnesses to be made on my own, and so he doesn't have to worry about it because I don't think a lot of them will sell, but I think it's a good thing to have on the parts bucket because it's hot rodding. See, let's be honest, a lot of you guys make modifications that are unnecessary to your vehicles. You don't need to do this. You don't need that blower. You don't need that throttle body. But you guys, when it comes to hot rodding, you want to make it distinctive to your own, right? So you're going to be like, oh, look at this. I have this thing and it's different, as opposed to everyone has an Odin, everyone has a Whipple, everyone has a Centri. Let's say you want to do twin turbos, or you want to do your own thing, hot rodding. So if I can facilitate hot rodding, having Lund as the tuner and vetting the tune, and Jake as the hardware guy, everybody wins. There's just extra part numbers on the shelf. That's all. I just ordered an Emery Sheriff mug from DNA High Performance. Get you one, guys. Post the link. Says Eshru Payne. You had a dark horse wine. You're an alcoholic now. Drop it a like. Cash replay later. It's kind of how more cylinders with the same total displacement controls combustion better. And then the Coyote swap blown Viper. No way. Like after watching Minoxide, let's go there. He has some good clips. So the guy from Nth Moto was in there. Good guy, just well spoken. Minoxide. Here we go. Listen to Aaron talk about the Viper and turbo stuff. Let me see. Reels. I like, he speaks, he seems like a smart guy. The guy, Nth Moto guy. But there's a part he talked about twin turboing your Viper versus supercharging your Viper. And it just made sense. And again, this is like a Street Alpha podcast, I think. So I hope he doesn't get mad that I'm like playing this stuff. But this guy, he has some good sound clips. Limitations of NA builds, request power, Argen, size matters, world's quickest and fastest, twin turbo or supercharger. Listen up. This is good. This is very good. A good clip to play. Again, compliments of Minoxide.
Most people that go down the road of doing a blower, they're power junkies just like the rest of us, and they're not going to be satisfied after 3 days of driving it. And then they're going to go, okay, cool, now what do we do? OEM ECU tuning, it's there, but it's not very kind to work with. Options are pretty limited until you get into a Motec. Cool, throw a Motec at it. Well, that's not cheap. Now we could put more boost in it. Well, now we need a fuel system. Well, now you need a better clutch. Well, now you need a trans. Well, now you. And all of a sudden you're 60, 80, 100 some odd $1,000 into a blower build. Maybe it makes $1,000. Maybe you spray it and it makes 1,200 or something. Maybe or maybe it doesn't break the crank snout. I feel like I'm going to get some negative backlash on this. You're probably going to get just bloodied by a halfway decent stock motor turbo car. I probably could have done that for what I did here and then have a runway ahead of you if you want to do more at that point. And the blower route, that's not a very long project. Really nothing wrong with that. You just need to be very aware of it.
What do you want out of a car? Some people will be happy with that 1,000 horsepower, and that's where they leave it.
Most people.
So, when it comes to that specific vehicle, the Viper, the reason I haven't really gone in on it is, let's be honest, it's basically the ZR1, right? Obviously, it's not basically the ZR1, but it's in that league. And if the ZR1 supercharged with a Coyote motor in it runs a 9 something, 800, 850, hell, let's say I want to be a total homo and I'm like, let's make 1,000 just to be a fucking homo. Then, that kind of fits what that car is meant to be. The Viper is meant to be an NA car that road races comfortably. But if you're going to get after it, you got to twin turbo it. Have you ever gone to a car meet and you see a Viper and you go, there's nothing done to it? And you're like, wait a minute, it's a Viper. Ah, yeah, but it's not a Calvo Viper. Yeah, but it's not a Nth Moto Viper. We're that jaded that when we see a Viper, we go, even an ACR, you go, badass ACR, but that one over there has twin turbos. So a stock transmission, twin turbo Viper, stock motor, it's a roll car. It's not a drag car. And I think that's the only way I would personally enjoy one, because NA, like he said, you will get bloodied and bodied by something that's halfway decently built, and you are now a target. So if I'm driving a Viper, you got to be ready. You got to be ready. You got to be on whatever badass boost setting so you don't get caught lacking. Because getting caught lacking in a performance vehicle is the worst feeling. I've been out there on pump gas on a 1,000 horsepower setup that I'm just, driving to get the tires changed or something. And shit, I'm on a 1,000, horse pulley setup, but I got pump gas in it just to tool around town. I'm lacking. I am, fuck. Just like you guys that feel very insecure without a gun, you bring the pouch, and the pouch is there with the blick, with the heater, the burner, the piece. You also can't drive around a highly targeted vehicle lacking. You gotta be on 1,000 plus. You gotta be ready. You gotta have your boost curve dialed in for asphalt. Because some fucking B58, S58 is gonna roll up with his burble tune, gap your shit, make you famous. So you gotta be ready all the time. So if I'm gonna buy a Viper and I'm just tooling around town, a Gen 3 10R80 ESS car will gap the ever-living shit out of even a modded Viper. So if I get a Viper, that bitch better be ready. So I'm not buying a Viper unless that bitch ready. I am not going to be on the streets with a Corvette unless that bitch is a high 4-second, low 5-second, 60 to 130 car. Because if you beat me then, you built a better car. But if I go out there lacking, nah, fuck all that. You got to be ready. Never get caught lacking on the streets. Looking to do a light roll racing and road course racing. I want to throw a Centri blower on it. Do you think it's a good choice for my goals? Yes. Daily driving, road racing, low boost. Absolutely. Absolutely. I like an ESS for sure. I certainly did a lot of inefficient shit for uniqueness as MD08. Department of Boost lower manifold has a heap area that goes between the head and the manifold, kind of like the Fox Body 50 phenolic spacer. The spacer is part of the blower manifold. Weren't you thinking about getting the Zora? Yeah, come on. You guys think I'm loaded. 372 watching, 172 likes. Very typical for this chat. I think the Hellcat is a perfect engine for the Viper, but the Coyote would be cool too. I would never put a Coyote in a Viper. It's a V10. Yeah, they bust in the crank snouts on the blown Vipers on a Centri. Hot rodding is the Legos for grown-ups. I'm fabricating custom intercooler pipe because my Vortex kit sucks. Same exact thing I did with my exhaust. Dual 3.5 because all Coyotes exhaust suck. Vipers are big money builds, exactly. The guy looking at a Viper saying that drives the guy looking at the Viper saying that drives a Honda. Now, I don't do that. The end Calvo shit is 1%, so expect not to see that. But you and I both know, you see a Viper and you're like, oh shit, look at that. That shit's hot. So what's the first thing you look for? Calvo sticker, Nth Moto sticker. You're like, do it got a twin turbo shit on it? I do. Our local Viper guy became a target for everyone. He ended up getting rid of it because he couldn't afford to mod it. Dude really got bullied into selling his car. Getting smoked in a Viper is embarrassing. That's how the 4 Super used to be. Nowadays, seeing a bone stock one is so rare, it's almost cooler. Coyote Kelly says, watch everyone swap the Roush blower onto their older setup and VMP start punching air. You got to roll around in bigs and littles and the kill pulley with the 85 in the tank. No room for slacking. You can't slack a lack, bro. You got to get out there and you got to be ready. Do not bring your car out on pump gas thinking you're going to go for a fucking cruise. We live in a world where we are targets. We got the S58s coming after us. Got the Hellcats. I mean, they're looking to rob us, not race us. You know, there's built 2J stuff. There's Tesla plaids out there. Let's just do this. If you can't build the plaid in your hot rod, don't go out there ready. Because a fucking grandma in a plaid will cap your shit. So you got to be quicker than a 4-second. Again, you're a hot rod. Again, the Corvette goes out. It don't go out. It ain't going outside unless I know that thing runs a low 5 or a high 4. Because if you beat me, you got a faster car, period. Always leave the show with the bottle open. Peasants can't even hit the like button for free. Imagine buying an NA Calvo Viper and FLKA. An NA Calvo Viper. Tell me you're a peasant. I mean, I get it. It's a $100,000+ car. But, I mean, don't... how much is a built Viper going for? Something that's in the threes, 60 to 130. $250,000, $300,000? Come on. All right, with the Coyote Swap. Hello. Dear Alex, shout out to your brother because you're awesome. Shout out to you, brother. I thought it's to my brother. I'm like, my brother's not awesome. I'm running an ESS supercharger pushing 700 horsepower. Do I need a crankcase breather? Yes. Any boosted car, in my opinion, should not be recirculating the crankcase pressure. Get it out into the atmosphere. Whoosh. I had a guy hit me up. Your tune caused the oil pump seal to push out of the crank snout. I was like, wait, let me read this. Let me get my fucking glasses here because I am blown away at this email. My tune caused excessive crankcase pressure, and it resulted in pushing out the oil lip seal from the crank snout. Well. Ain't that some shit? So I was like, really? Could you explain the mechanism that I have access to that can mitigate crankcase pressure? So then I had to explain to him. I go, so like the only way you get excessive crankcase pressure is if you have like severe blow-by. Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck. I think he's right. I go, you might want to do a leak down and compression on the bitch. Because something tells me you ain't got no rings in it. We ain't got no rings in it. No thoughts, just vibes. Alex, in your opinion, what's the best time of year in Florida right now? Right fucking now. November to March. Beautiful, bro. Beautiful. Everyone comes down here. There's money. All the restaurants are packed. Bitches. It's a good time. I'm going to get in trouble for saying shit like that, but you know, I got to be me. 3.5 pulley on an E85 beats 90% of the cars on the streets, says Whipple 50. Always ready. $400,000, says Head Games Motorworks says $400,000 for a built Calvo Viper. Delaney Life says, what are your thoughts on Ford Performance Supercharger Kit? Weekend tire spinner, ha. Don't know what you're talking about. Ford Performance Supercharger Kit? What are you talking about, Delaney Life? Anyone notice all the Hellcats guys moving to RS3s as well as the BMWs? I talked about that. Sunglasses inside, YOLO back. First mod on a Hellcat is to concealed blick mount and a beeping smoke detector. I agree 100%. New Euro guys are old Hellcat guys, still looking like Riddick with the glasses. The good old crankcase pressure tune. Did he ask for a burble tune? Head Games Motorworks says, hard to beat a Calvo Viper on the street when they have traction control even at 2,500 horsepower. Will hook on the street from a roll. Did the Shiesty come in? No, Monday. Alex, sorry. Alex, the last chat I confused adaptive octane logic with flex logic. Oh, yeah, I remember you mentioned something and I was confused. See, stock Coyotes are able to run 87 octane. Listen, stock Coyotes. I'm saying stock cold air, stock manifolds, pump gas, nothing done to it. Grandma shit. You can run 87 octane. I wouldn't race on 87 octane. It has the adaptive octane logic, and you'll see 20 degrees at watt, no more. And the knock sensor might kick back a degree or two. Then you put 93 in it, and the widebands go. Oh, that's a good 93 right there. Here's about 28 degrees of timing. That's the best way I could put it. 13 GT MT82 year. I'm putting a clutch next year. I'm putting a clutch. You are Hispanic. I guarantee you're fucking Hispanic, Venom 8000. 13 GT MT82 here. I'm putting a clutch. I'm putting a clutch in the car next year. And wondering for a cruiser. Is it worth upgrading the shifter? Yeah, get yourself a Barton Hybrid 3. Alex, what wrong with it? Ain't got no rings in it. That's why I ordered a vented CAT scan for my 18 Honda Civic SI. Barton Hybrid 3, Venom 8000, exactly. Oh shit, what's up, Head Game? I love him. He's a good guy. He has instructional videos. I share his stuff. He's a good dude. I wish I had some Coyote heads to give to him, but I don't got shit. All the talk about being on point with the targeted car gives me a little peace of mind. In all honesty, I can't launch a car to save my life, so just drive my Mustang. Daily use. Just join. Can you start over? Says Wyatt. If you don't like how your shifter feels, change it. Delaney Life says Roush kit sold by Ford, 3-year 36. Not a racer, but drive my 5.0 like an animal. Get tire fryer like an animal. Ford power. We don't do that here. We don't do that here. We don't say tire screeching. We don't say tire fryer. We don't do that here. Okay? The Ford Performance 3-year 36-mile warranty front feed 2650 is ass cheeks. So when you're shitting, right? Hold on. And the fart is now doing this to the ass cheeks. That's the Gen 3 front feed supercharger. It sounds... Listen to the end of this sound clip. This is that supercharger. that last part where it goes just like that. That's your supercharger. Tire frying, screeching, Ford power Coyote. Ew, Shetty thugs. Shetty thugs, Shetty boys. Nobody talks like that here, bro. We don't do that shit here. We just talk like normal people. Around how much horsepower do you think Donnie is pushing at the wheels? Good run on the last vid. Well, during that, I think like 430 through an auto. What's that smell? My Gen 3 blower. This sound clip always blows my mind because it's such a strong fart, but it's layered. It goes down, up, then it slaps. like I couldn't imagine him recording that and going, that is the best fart caught on video ever. Jao Bell, did you make a TikTok account? A new account popped up that has been posting clips lately. Nope, but hey, I don't hate it. We don't call Mustangs Stangs here either. Oh my God, I love it, man. Hellcat owners switching to Supras. Look out for Newport edition coming soon. Oh, it smells like a jelly beans. Yeah, I mean, the Hellcat brothers are now moving over to the Euro stuff. You're going to start seeing them. Man, Hellcat is now like a white boy ratchet shit. Believe it or not. It's funny how hip-hop culture is followed by young white guys, right? Like, I guarantee in about 3 years, white boys are going to be wanting donks everywhere. Like Pit Vipers, donks, playing Kodak Black through 418s in a Caprice that's purple. That actually sounds like a good time. That does sound like a good time. If you don't care looking like a fucking whole-ass clown. You know what I mean? 26 4G autos, 26-inch. The big the steering wheel's gotta match the wheels. If it ain't a donk, if the steering wheel pattern does not match the wheels, and you pay Kodak Black, Gremlin, you know, and 418 slapping, white boy, blonde hair from the Cap, Pit Vipers, vaping a box. It looks like a fucking suitcase. Pfft. Guaranteed. Yes, I got a lot of V8s in my Beat 58. Haha. No, Iranian Alex, I realized it after. I knew it. I put in the clutch. Hey, Alex, I put in clutch. And and it ended up being a with shifter putting in the clutch. Do you guys eat with your hands? Hey, JD Swag. So I saw a guy that's a bodybuilder finish a bodybuilding prep and competition. Then when the thing was over, he was eating. And he was doing this. There's rice, there's whatever, some curry, and naan, right? And he takes his hands, grabs the rice, does this, gets it on the curry, gets it on the naan, rolls it up, and shoves it in his mouth. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? You got silverware. Do y'all motherfuckers eat with your hands? Is this a thing? He looked like he was an expert hand eater. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, I saw a clip of a guy go like, what the hell did he say? He said he goes, y'all let the shit fall, y'all, when y'all take a shit, you let it fall in the toilet? And they're like, yeah. He's like, y'all don't catch it with your hand? He's like, no. He's like, why would you catch it with your hand? He goes, that's what you wash your hands for. And I'm like, oh no. I got to find that clip. Yeah, you need to let me know if Indians eat with their hands. Little 6-cylinder pumping out high 4, low 5, manual shifted. B50 is the best. Barton, it is. I want a donk, but I'd be playing George Strait. I want a slab. I want a donk. I wouldn't say the best, but they are good. The EPA will never be invited to a cookout unless it's Kamala's house. It still runs 10s. Clifton carries hot sauce. JD about to catch a stray. Nasty. Rob is not racist. No, Alex, they eat with their feet. Isn't that a Guatemalan thing? Hellcat's been white boy thing since they came out. There is some cool stuff. Hand eaters, oh yeah, just building up his immune system. They wipe their ass with their bare hands too. Stellantis, I think, is reconsidering putting a V8 in their car since Trump won. They had the board meeting for the Hemi stay on because their sales are in the drain. If that's true, that's a good thing. Venom 8000 says, hey, with your hands it tastes much better, Alex. Yes, it's true. How does it taste better with your hands? Oh no, Eshru Payne. True. My grandparents ate with their hands. My parents did too until they moved to. Okay, we're watching this. Indians eat with their hands. Let me see. Indians eat with their hands. I watched this and I went, what is happening? Yeah. How to eat like, oh no. Oh my God. And then you see those videos where they make street food with their asshole. Mírate, cabrón. Look at his hand. Look at his rings. Oh, no. Oh, get the wase. You are... what the... Oh, no.
Let's see how today fucking goes. Not looking too bad. And fucked. No reason to palm the food down. Chicken doesn't look bad. Don't like the fact that you're barehanding it with your palms. But if you forget that part, I like the spices. It looks good. I like the color. Very vascular forearms, my man, with no muscle mass. It looks like you have a fucking dick for arms. Why so much oil? Do we have to put our arms and hands on every inch of the fucking...
Hey, put your dick in there.
Chicken. Kind of disgusting. Looks like expired clotted milk and cheese.
This is
However,
diarrhea.
I'm gonna let it slide. I promise you though, if you didn't put your DNA on every inch of this, the chicken and color doesn't look...
Oh, hey, what you doing? You have to eat the food like normal. You know, why is the left hand pinky... okay. So, Ash Rupain and JD Swag. Is the right hand, like, normally your dirty hand? Do you know what I mean? Like, is your right hand considered dirty? So you shake with the left? Oh, fucking suspect as shit. All right, I'm going to get out of here. Butter chicken, booger butter. Booger butter chicken. Booger? That must be a loss in translation thing. No, it is booger. We go snot, dick, balls, then shit inside chicken, salt and oil wash out. No problem. Good for flavor. I'm going to get out of here. Jerky. I love we fist bump. Oh fuck, it's like the right hand is considered dirty in that whole situation. I'm out of here, guys. Have yourselves a great rest of your Sunday. Peasant Chat's always fun, especially when we talk shit on Indians. It's a good time. We talked about Donnie potentially being a low 11-second car. Might have to chase that number a little bit before we throw a blower on it. What the fuck else did we talk about? Oh, Eric Vega running a personal best in his ESS stick car, letting me know that a 1,000 horsepower car doesn't just randomly hit the rev limiter on the 1-2 shift. Crazy how that works. And we made fun of Indians' eating habits and cooking habits. Have a great rest of your Sunday. I'll see you guys on Tuesday for Talking Shit Tuesday. We'll have a bunch of fun. Have a good rest of your weekend. I'll see you guys later. Bye.